Good afternoon, class. We are going to do a wet set on your quad mannequin. This is the Chi Quad mannequin. It's the 4 different color one. It's the right length to do a roller set on. I have already used a little bit of Root Boost on this mannequin, and it's now stopped up, so I won't use anymore. But if I need some more moisture, I have my water bottle here. And I want you to see, as I begin this, how wet the hair is. It's very, very wet. Now, there are different roller placements, and the first roller placement I'm going to show you is on base. When it's very wet and you're using a magnetic roller, it sticks to the roller, and you set it right on the base. What you try to do is you try to get the same length parting as the roller, and you want to have the same diameter that it sets on. If I want a roller that's half off base, I'm going to take that same parting and I'm going to hold it. You notice I held that one straight up, even over directed a little. But if I want it half off base, I'm going to pull it back kind of like this. And I want to show you how it sits, half on the base and half off the base. Now when you look at this roller, you see that it's not on the base as this one is, but it's half off the base. Now I'm going to show you how to do a completely off base, and then I'm going to come back and take these out, and we're going to do a complete roller set. But you need to know the difference between an on base, a half off base, and an all the way off base. I'm going to take the diameter of a roller, and I'm going to comb this good, and I'm going to take this roller, and I'm going to lean it back, and when I come down with this roller, I'm sitting behind the base. So that's a completely off base roller, okay? So this is on base, half off base, and this is off base. So you know the different bases of rollers. Now while I'm setting this particular mannequin, I am going to use this green and yellow size because I'm going to set her, and I'm going to set her in a basic set, which is straight back, down, and under. And so I'm going to begin by rolling the mohawk first. I'm going to wet her a little bit more because she wasn't sticking as good as I wanted. Be sure that you're using a setting lotion. Like I said, I used the base guts and some setting lotion pre-done and had her ready to go for you because I don't like to keep you on the mannequin too long, on the YouTube too long. But I do want you to get your hours in. You notice, see how that sticks? And I'm going on base on top. Now I'm going to use mostly double prong clips, and I'm going to put it right here. The placement of the clip is what keeps it in. I'm going to just kind of go through this quickly, but you'll notice the placement of the clip each time is the same. You notice the rollers are called magnetic. There's a reason for that. They automatically stick if you get the hair wet enough. If they're not sticking, it's because the hair is not wet enough or you don't have any kind of setting. You can use gel, you can use setting lotion, you can use mousse. You can't just use water. I don't advise it because water is just not a real good conductor to make it stick like it should. Let me turn around so that she can see you. I'm just continuing with what I started. Mostly on base. When I break over the crown here, I'm probably going to move to half off base somewhat. Notice I keep wetting it because the wetter it is, the better it sticks. Now you don't want to be dripping in the floor and making a big mess, but you do want to have it wet enough to work. When it is completely on base, you get the most volume. When it's half off base, you get next to the most volume. When it's off base, you get the least volume. And I used a single prong there because I wanted that tight. Okay, class, we're back with the roller set. While we were working on some of the other videos, I continued to set her a little bit, and so she is almost done. But I want you to know, and I'm going to go through the bases with you once we've completed this. I've used different bases on all of it. I've used some on base rolling, some off base rolling, and then I've used some that is completely off base, further than just off base. This one is loosened a bit. If you have one that loosens a bit, you can put 2 clips in it. Most all of mine will only have 1. My mannequin is drying a little bit, makes it a little more difficult. And you know, my heart goes out to you girls working on mannequins all the time. Their heads don't move like people's do. It's not as much fun. But I've had a fun day today doing all these videos, having other hands in, having my own in. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope that you're having fun watching the videos. As we do these, I try to go slow enough for you to get it, but fast enough that you don't get absolutely bored out of your gourd. That's the reason I didn't roll this whole set with you watching, because it takes a few minutes to do a set. This is a 20-minute job, and you're watching the same thing over and over. So, let me go through the bases with you. This is an on base. This is an on base. This is on base, on base. This one is half off base. Hannah, would you shoot the side of this? And this one's half off base too. Little bit further, but it's not all the way off base. This one is completely off base. You see how it's dropped down? The reason for that is I'm going to get my volume here, but I don't want this poofed out wide on the side, so you drop it down. This is dropped down. These are all dropped just a little bit. This one's completely off base. This one's half off base. So you get the idea of how other roller bases count. Now at this point, I'm going to put her under the dryer. We'll come back to her later and do a comb out on her after she's had an opportunity to dry. Have a good day. Bye. Okay, we are back with the quad set. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to comb through first with the large tooth comb. This is a wonderful tool. I'm going to comb through it with a large tooth comb, and then I am going to come back and pick with a pick and my fingers. If you wanted to tease it some, you could, but I don't think she's going to need it. She has medium volume because I rolled her on a medium-sized roller. We're going to do her all back and leave her curly. Tomorrow, our next video, whatever, we're going to diffuse dry one of the mannequins that's natural curly, and it will look something like this. So you can get different looks that look similar by doing different things to it. Right now, I'm working on getting the roller parts out. I'm just gonna back brush it a little bit. Don't really want any height. I just want to get the roller parts out. Kind of gonna give it the Marilyn Monroe look. That's very popular again, by the way. It's gonna take just a little bit more. I used a lot of setting lotion / mousse. The guts is very strong, and so to get that out, I had to put just a little tease there in the front. I'm looking for my hairspray, and it is under here. I'm going to go ahead and take this towel off her neck. I know it's not wet because she's been under the dryer, but I'm going to take it off. Just a little better if I have my glasses on. Now, I could tease her up and comb her out smooth and all that. But if I was going to do that, I wouldn't have wanted to use as small of rollers as I used. I want to use this curl for, like I say, that kind of Marilyn Monroe look. The quad mannequin is the perfect length, most of them, for this type of style. And it gives you, I want you to notice that the blonde hair brings light into the hairstyle. And then the red hair is warm and it shows the light. But the darker the hair is, the less light that it shows. If you look in the back, this dark hair, you can't see the detail as much as you can in the light. So it's a good equation when you look at it that way. I'm going to get my pick and pick just a little bit more, and then I'm almost through with her. I'm going to use my hands now to kind of place and move it. Your fingers are your most precious, wonderful tool in hairstyling. Without them, you can't be a hairstylist. There will be favorite tools and stuff, but you'll do more styling with your fingers than any other tool that you have. You want to be known to have magic fingers. Cute, fast, quick, easy. Now this will last 2 or 3 days. Every day she can get up, she can brush it, and then the next day it'll be just a little more relaxed, and by the end of the week it'll be as relaxed as mine is. So doesn't she look pretty? Thank you for tuning in.